Welcome back to Sports Sunday. A special guest joining me now, Blazers great and Portland Pilots head basketball coach Terry Porter. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Just over a week until the start of the season. You ready to go?
We're ready. Guys are making progress every day. They're really getting after it in practice, and we're making the type of strides we need to in practice to improve and then getting prepared for that first game.
I was looking at your roster, Coach. You've got some experience returning. It looks like you've got 6 of the top 7 leading scorers on that roster. Where are expectations at for you guys?
Well, I think for us, we talk about just improving every day. Obviously, we don't really look at wins and losses. We look at how our culture is being built every day. Are we making the right strides in that department? We do have, as you mentioned, 6 of our top 7 scorers coming back. We're still one of the youngest teams in the country, but no, I feel good about this group we have. I think guys are working hard, really competing, and I think our culture is getting to the point where it needs to continue to grow, and it's turning the corner for that department. So we're excited about it.
I was looking at the preseason polls for the West Coast Conference, and I said, Pilots aren't getting any love. Yeah. They have you guys last in the conference right now. Do you guys look at it as motivation, or do you just ignore stuff like that? How do you handle that?
Well, I think for me personally, I talk to our guys about it and talk about it is something we can use for motivation. But that's not the only thing. I mean, we got to have some self-motivation, and we want to obviously move up the ladder and get better and do the things we have to do to become a better ball club. So, yes, we do use as part of it, but we still know that, we have to go out and prove it. That's just, critics, and we have to change the reality of it.
The West Coast Conference, Coach, I mean, it's loaded. You always have Gonzaga in there. St. Mary's is so good as well. Can the Pilots compete with teams like that? It's going to take some time?
Well, yeah, I think when you talk about to be able to have sustainability, yeah, that's a process. That's not something that you can do overnight. Those teams, when you look at those teams and how those teams turned around, it took Mark, a great job he did, but it took him some years to get that turned around. St. Mary's turned around. Obviously, BYU was a fairly new addition to our conference, but they had a lot of tradition as well. But no, it takes time to really get to that level, and we're very excited about the turns we've made, the progress we made, and how our team is improving areas we need to each year to make those strides to get there.
Coach, one of the most interesting things I think is you've got not just one, but you've got 2 kids on the team. Yeah. What has that been like to coach both of your sons?
Yeah, it's been one that I think any father would love, but it's also been a challenge. I mean, I think there's always a lot of different variables when you talk about coaching not one but multiple of your kids, from player to player, from player to coach, from player to dad. There's a lot of different layers.
Coach, I can only imagine how difficult it could be to have to draw the line in the sand, and figure out what to balance. But like Thanksgiving dinner, it's coming up pretty soon, and the kids are over, and you've got Malcolm or Franklin telling Mom, Dad's being a jerk at practice. What's Mom telling you?
Well, we try to. Home is like a safe place. There's no basketball at home. There's no.
Is that your rule or her rule?
That's just a general rule of everybody. Just everybody can get along. We don't talk much about. We talk about obviously basketball and things in the basketball world, but we don't talk about the Pilots and don't talk about them, practice, playing time, or anything like that, or games that may happen. No, we try to really just enjoy the family time and enjoy each other company at that time.
So, Coach, I'm wondering if you miss playing the game.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think anybody who played basketball, professional basketball, missed it. I mean, it was the best job in the world. It was really the best job in the world, to be able to be an adult and play a sport that you loved as a kid, and now you're getting compensated for it, and you're getting to travel, you're getting to go to unbelievable places and see cities and meet people that you would never in your wildest dream ever imagine that you could do. And again, in professional sports, you always want to talk about having success. I was blessed to be on teams that had a lot of success. So there's a win on top of win, to be able to play for as long as I did.
I was looking, Coach, just back at that time when you were there with the Blazers, at just how good that team was. So you got everybody's best shot when they came to Portland. I'm curious if there was an opponent, a player, that got under your skin, that just got on your nerves every time he came here.
I don't know if there was one individual player. I mean, I think we had some built-in rivalries. Like Seattle was always a very competitive, hard-fought. Gary was always trash talking, and there was a lot. And then there was obviously a lot of the players on that team. They had young, Kemp. They had young superstars.
Oh,
that rivalry just was built up. It was built up. So there was always jawing back and forth, about who was the better team and among the players when the game went on. And so that was kind of built in. And then obviously the Lakers. Whenever we played the Lakers, because they were the king of the crown, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to knock the Lakers off, and we had our window. We were really a competitive team, a championship caliber team, and so it was always. For that reason, there's always Lakers fans in Portland when they always showed up. You didn't see them during the year, and then the Lakers showed up. You always see these people with Lakers gear like, hey, wait a minute, you had a Blazers shirt on last week.
That's what you heard them, Lakers fans. You mentioned Gary Payton. Was he like the king of trash talk? Was that the best trash talker you saw out there, or were there others that were better than him at that?
I don't know if the one was better than others. They had a lot of guys. Tim Hardaway was a trash talker. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird. There's a lot. During that time, I think the sport, and compared to today, there was trash talkers back then, but it was done in a kind of nicer way. I remember my rookie year, but I didn't guard him. Larry Bird. We played him in the Boston Garden, and I was in the paint, and somehow the ball was swung around. And Larry had caught it, and I was running out to Larry Bird. And his famous motion, he just kind of shot it. As I was running out, he said, "Too late, rookie."
That's what he's
too late, rookie. And obviously it went down, and I just shook my head and ran down to the other end.
That was like your introduction.
That was my intro to the
league.
It's like, welcome, rookie. You know who I am, Larry Legend. That's who I am. Too late.
Coach, I appreciate you spending so much time with us here on Sports Sunday. We're about just over a week away from the season opener at the Chiles Center against Multnomah. Coach, good luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.